Is Texas really a purple state after the results of the election back on Tuesday? Hey everybody, I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. This is sort of a continuation of a video I did on Wednesday afternoon about Senator Ted Cruz and other Texas Republicans and what they owe to West Texans when it came to the 2018 midterm election. I encourage you to go back and watch that video here on this YouTube channel. So one of the I guess developments or talking points maybe that I've seen develop immediately after the election, where Beto O'Rourke came within 200,000 or so votes of defeating Ted Cruz, is that Texas is now a purple state. That Beto O'Rourke moved Texas to a point to where this state is flippable in 2020. Maybe that's the case, but I don't think we're there yet, and here's why. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he won the state by about 56% over Lupe Valdez. Now remember, Beto O'Rourke had long coattails, okay? Lupe Valdez was a terrible candidate, and she actually didn't do too bad. She did better than Wendy Davis did when Wendy Davis ran against Greg Abbott. So Lupe Valdez actually did better, outperformed Wendy Davis, and she was arguably a worse candidate than what Wendy Davis was. But Beto O'Rourke had a lot of coattails because when you drop around $100 million in the state of Texas, people are going to vote Democrat, and that's what people did. Beto O'Rourke, who was the top of the ticket, was getting, just absolute love and adoration from the national news media, and Greg Abbott was still able to win with about 56 percentage points. Here's why I don't think Texas is a purple state just yet. It's because we don't know if there's another Beto O'Rourke around the corner. If there is, then yeah, we might be in a danger area. But when you compare Beto O'Rourke to some of the other Democrats who ran for office here in the state of Texas, yeah, I don't think so. They just don't have the charisma. They don't have the it factor that Beto O'Rourke had. Listen, Republicans, come on, you got to admit, Beto O'Rourke was a good politician. Beto O'Rourke had a good game plan, and he came within 200,000 votes of defeating Senator Ted Cruz. Lupe Valdez would not have come in within 200,000 votes of defeating Ted Cruz. Mike Collier, who ran against Dan Patrick, would not have come within 200,000 votes of defeating Ted Cruz. Would not have happened. I think Dan Patrick had his own issues in that race, but and also the coattails of Beto O'Rourke. But Collier by himself would not have come even anywhere close to what Beto O'Rourke was able to do. I still think Texas is a Republican state, but it's not that deep red Republican state that people like to think of Texas as. We're a red state, but it's one of the red states where voters have to get out and actually vote. There's been this mindset among Republican voters that, we're Republican, we're fine, the Republican's always going to win. I'll just stay home. I don't need to go out and vote. You got to throw that out the window. Republican voters have got to get out and vote, and they've got to get out and vote en masse, and they've got to understand that no longer is it Republican versus Republican. The Democrats are making a comeback in the state of Texas if they can find good, viable candidates. Beto O'Rourke has given the Democrats a roadmap. If they can find some good, non-crazy candidates, then I think they have a roadmap to really put pressure on the Republicans. When it comes to the next presidential cycle, one, we're way too far out to consider Texas a purple state. But let's say Kamala Harris is the nominee, or Elizabeth Warren is the nominee. These folks are very, very, very progressive, and I don't see them capturing the hearts and minds of Texas voters here in Texas. They're Democrats, socialists, they're socialist, progressive, whatever you want to call them. I don't see them capturing the hearts and minds of Texans in this state. In fact, I think Donald Trump will actually do better in 2020 than he did in 2016. And I say that just a couple of years out. So, if you're watching this in 2020, know that this is a couple of years away that I'm making this prediction. But as of right now, I do think that Donald Trump will do better in the state of Texas in 2020 than he did in 2016. Democrats still have a long way to go to turn Texas blue. They still have a little bit of ways to go before they turn Texas purple. And Republicans have a lot of work to do to keep Texas red, and Republican voters have a lot of work to do to keep Texas red as well. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO.